and to just get out all the stuff that they've been keeping inside.
We all hold these limiting beliefs in ourselves that really hold us back in our lives. And this is a type of event that can help people to break through.
I would recommend this event to anyone that wants to find who they are and go back to who they are at their core.
This has been an opportunity for women to come together and empower one another.
I think the content has been incredible. I've learned so much this weekend.
And this is the first event that I've been to that I was able to stand up and say something in front of a room and not shake like a leaf.
I could really feel with Loren living your passion and helping others how she does, and helping, encouraging them, and you can see it and feel it in her that she's just doing what she's meant to do by helping others and rising them up and making sure that they transform and become the best.
Being able to play full out, being able to have proximity with Loren, to me has been a gift. And I have been able to express myself with authenticity.
I think the magic of it is just the way that I got to connect with the other women here.
The opportunity that it provides for people to have this safe place, to trust, to tell their true story, and to just get out all the stuff that they've been keeping inside.
We all hold these limiting beliefs in ourselves that really hold us back in our lives. And this is a type of event that can help people to break through.
I would recommend this event to anyone that wants to find who they are and go back to who they are at their core.
All right, we're going to play it one more time so that we got a couple more people joining us. So we're going to play one more time and then we're going to welcome you all.
This has been an opportunity for women to come together and empower one another.
I think the content has been incredible. I've learned so much this weekend.
And this is the first event that I've been to that I was able to stand up and say something in front of a room and not shake like a leaf.
I could really feel with Loren living your passion and helping others how she does, and helping, encouraging them, and you can see it and feel it in her that she's just doing what she's meant to do by helping others and rising them up and making sure that they transform and become the best.
Being able to play full out, being able to have proximity with Loren, to me has been a gift. And I have been able to express myself with authenticity.
I think the magic of it is just the way that I got to connect with the other women here.
The opportunity that it provides for people to have this safe place, to trust, to tell their true story, and to just get out all the stuff that they've been keeping inside.
We all hold these limiting beliefs in ourselves that really hold us back in our lives. And this is a type of event that can help people to break through.
I would recommend this event to anyone that wants to find who they are and go back to who they are at their core.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We're waiting on a few more people. Get your moving in your body. Get it going. Have some fun. Dr. Wren, welcome. Welcome. We've got about a lot of people who confirmed, so we want to have the time to welcome them in. So give us just a couple more minutes as we welcome everybody in. Hi, Lisa. Welcome, everybody. Want to play one more time just so we can welcome in? Okay. We're going to wait a couple more minutes and Katie's going to put on a fun little video for you. Hi, Jody.
Hey, Loren.
We got a fun video and then we'll start. Katie? We got a little bit of latency here. Sorry, guys. We got a minute. Let's see. All right. Katie? I'm going to put some more music on while Katie's getting that. Like some movement in your body while we're waiting. Let me know when you're ready, Katie. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Let us know where you're coming in from. Katie, let me know when you're ready. There we go. Katie's ready. There's no sound, Katie.
Women to come together and empower one another.
I think the content has been incredible. I've learned so much this weekend.
And this is the first event that I've been to that I was able to stand up and say something in front of a room and not shake like a leaf.
I could really feel with Loren living your passion and helping others how she does, and helping, encouraging them, and you can see it and feel it in her that she's just doing what she's meant to do by helping others and rising them up and making sure that they transform and become the best.
Being able to play full out, being able to have proximity with Loren, to me has been a gift. And I have been able to express myself with authenticity.
I think the magic of it is just the way that I got to connect with the other women here.
The opportunity that it provides for people to have this safe place to trust, to tell their true story, and to just get out all the stuff that they've been keeping inside.
We all hold these limiting beliefs in ourselves that really hold us back in our lives. And this is a type of event that can help people to break through.
I would recommend this event to anyone that wants to find who they are and go back to who they are at their core.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody. I know we have more people that are going to be joining us, but I first want to thank my amazing Katie that is here on the line and introduce her really quick. We have been doing True Voice. I can't see myself, so I'm trying to find myself. All right. Even I can't find myself. I'm sure I'm here somewhere. Welcome, everyone. This is going to, I'm just seeing your faces. I'm all lit up just seeing you here. I've met so many of you throughout the years. And Catherine, it's so great to see you. I think I met you through my brother 100 years ago. But thanks for taking the time. This is a very special night. You saw a video there from True Voice, and I'm so excited to be collaborating with the amazing Arthur Joseph, which you'll hear from him as well. But tonight, I really want to be honest with you about this evening, because if you know anything about me, I'll love you and I'll hug on you, but I also want to kick you in the hiney a little bit. So I'm gonna challenge you right now to make sure that you don't make this a half watch while you're doing something else training. And let me explain, because I want to make sure that you're fully present, not for me, not for Arthur, but for you. Because if you look at the last 6 years, we've been locked into Zoom boxes, notices, tabs, group chats. And I've noticed a lot over the last 2 years specifically that people now have kind of been half in, right? And we wonder why there's so many. I look at even here, like when initially I got set up, that it was set up with 2 computer screens and the one in the middle. And no wonder why people feel so overwhelmed and a little bit exhausted by 10 a.m. So it's almost like we're not really even fully present anywhere. So I'm just going to ask for your permission to love you and because what I've noticed that it's cost people is that it's cost people their presence. And when your presence isn't there, that's where you lose your voice. So once again, this isn't a rule. This is just an opportunity for you to really give yourself this gift. And I think also in this beautiful, there's an amazing opportunity now with AI, but there's something that's happened with AI that it can write a talk, it can do a post, it can do a pitch, it can do framework in like a matter of seconds, but it can never, ever, ever, ever give you the ability to stand in your truth and say what you really want to say. And that's what today is about. It's not just about words, it's about your voice. So give me a little thumbs up if this resonates with you, if you're excited about this. And, but what I also realize, and give me a little thumbs up if this resonates as I let you all in. Because I think so many times, yay, hello, all you gorgeous people. Look at all of you coming in. And make sure we see your face, because when Arthur comes on and when I come on, I want to make sure that we do get active with each other and not just talk at you. So what I've learned is that I couldn't own my voice in a fragmented half in life. I had to choose presence first. And especially over this last 2 years, I look at, presentations that I've done for the past 36 years. And I look now and I just realize now how I'm really in it. I can hear it different. I feel different in my body. And that's what we want for you. So close off all your other tabs, turn your phone, put your phone on vibrate. Make sure the dogs give them some kind of gummies or whatever they need to do so that they're relaxed, like my dogs right now. And I want you to just put in the chat, what's one distraction you just shut off to really be here now? What's one distraction that you just turned off so that you could be here now? And we got some? Who's got one? Put it in the chat. The phone, you turned on your camera, great. You put the dog in the room with the cats. Not the dog in the room with the cats, that's not good. So you turn off your family. So awesome. And this is why we're really here. And I also want to acknowledge all of you, because we had over 250 people that registered to be here with us tonight. And, there's always this lovely statistics. 100 people sign up for a gym membership. And then 85 of the 100 people, what do? They pay their dues, right? They register, they pay their dues. But then what do? They are in their car and they kind of like drive by the gym and they don't actually show up at the gym. And then there's the 10% of the people, they go a couple times a year. And then there's the 5%, the 5%ers show up. So please make sure to acknowledge yourself that you're the 5%ers. You're here showing up, because isn't that cool? Come on. I think that, oh my gosh, Angie, I wear my socks. So before we do that, give yourself a little love for that, for showing up. Come on, give yourself some love for showing up. I'm a DJ too, if you didn't know that. I know how to be a DJ. I know how to do it all. So we're here together. Awesome. So I love to celebrate. I think that's the one thing that's missing for so many people. They don't celebrate all the wonderful things in their life. But I don't know if you can relate to this, but I'd like to start with a story. And my story was, for a long time, I was silent. I know it seems impossible to imagine. And it wasn't for my lack of opinions or my, as a little girl, it was really a learned silence for me. And sometimes it wasn't even told in words for me. It was that I was told not to be proud of who I was. And, or if something happened, then maybe I was shut down, I don't know, or not to take up space. And I learned, unfortunately, very early, not from my parents, because my parents were amazing, but just from circumstances around me. But I learned really early to shrink. And I don't know if anybody can relate to this. And then, I was told I could never be a singer because I did cheerleading at an early age, right? So all these things just got me to shrink. But here's what a good thing about it, in a way, was it protected me in a way, but it also ended up, if I let that story go on, it was going to cost me my next level. Who can relate to this? And so this masterclass isn't about being louder. I just want to be really clear about this. This masterclass is not about being louder. This masterclass is all about becoming really honest with yourself. And what I learned was silence. It became a survival skill, not for weakness, but it was about me really unlearning some of the things. So I'm not blaming any situation, but it taught me about like who I really knew I'm here to be in this world. So and to really own that. And then guess what happened? I had a defining moment. Anybody have a defining moment in your life? My defining moment happened when I was 12 years old, and it was pretty dramatic happened. And I just said, that's it, no more, something has to change. And I realized at that moment that I'm allowed to be proud of who I am. I'm allowed to be proud of who I am, and that nobody hands me a permission slip because I already have it. And I realized that my voice was never just a sound. It was self-respect. It was self-respect to my choices. It was coming home to myself. And I will tell you, when you get to hear from Arthur and this beautiful collab that we're doing together, he really helped me take that to the next level as well. So it was refusing to shrink anymore, and not allow myself to be comfortable. And it was about deciding as a kid to just, something got me to wake up, but I had to also decide for myself to stay awake. And too many people that we know will have a defining moment, and what do? They fall asleep at the wheel of life. Who can relate to this? Anybody fall asleep at the wheel of life? They have something that happens and then they fall asleep again. So what I learned was something that permission was never something to wait for. It was mine to claim. It was mine to do. And that it was also allowing myself to be proud of just who I was and stop downplaying it. Because my whole thing, I wanted people to love me for who I was, not what I was. And that moment was so important, because that moment is the reason why we're all here today. Well, maybe some of you are here because you know Arthur, some of you are here because you know me, some of you because you know both of us, some of you are like, what are they up to and why are they, who is this match that's coming up? And that moment really became my obsession. That moment became my life's work. And to help people not just like sound good and look good, it was really about helping people know what their voice is. It wasn't just about skills, because skills are really useful, and it's not about scripts. I'm going to be very clear about that, because your scripts organize your thoughts, but they can't replace your truth. And you might have heard this story before, and I'm going to share it again with you because I think it's really important. 24 years ago, Tony Robbins asked me to move my family to Fiji to launch his life mastery program. The program used to happen every year. It's actually where I met Arthur, and we used to do it every year in Hawaii. And October 9/11 happened. They had to change the program. We moved to Fiji, and it was a big deal because it was the program, and Tony changed the format of it to have us be the facilitator for this program. And I remember going there, and there were all these videos to watch and all these scripts and all of this stuff. And I got myself in the space of like, oh my gosh, maybe I signed up for something too big. Maybe this isn't for me. And I remember a couple of days before the program, Tony, I was looking at all these things, and Tony came up behind me, and I said, Tony, maybe I signed up for something too big. There's just so much. And I said, why did you choose me? I said, you could have chosen anybody in the world to lead this program. I go, why did you choose me? And he said to me, Loren, I chose you because I knew you'd take care of these people. And I'm like, I know how to do that. So while I'm sharing this with you, I want you to think about why your true voice is so important for you to express right now. What I learned, that knowing the right words and living them were two very different skills. You get that? It's two different skills are one thing. And then I learned that, knowing what to say doesn't necessarily mean that you're living it. And for me, I didn't want to be teaching the lesson I need to learn most. I wanted to just live it in my life. And, of being in this personal development seminar world for 36 years, it's been a great gift because I've had a front row seat to see people have breakthroughs. But it also has given me an opportunity to see patterns, and patterns that people repeat over and over and over again. So imagine this. I know it's not you, but just imagine, because maybe you've seen somebody do this. There's a person and they're sitting in a room and they're taking notes like furious and everything's saying, yes, yes, I got this. And then guess what happens? The seminar's over. The room empties out. The music's gone. The adrenaline drops. The notebooks go on a shelf or in a drawer or in a tab for something later, right? And as we know, we use this, we say, and it becomes shelf help instead of someone who's really guiding us. So my question comes back to, did you leave there and you go, why did I take all the notes and get all these skills and do all this and I still don't sound like me? You did the work, right? Maybe that voice still felt borrowed, right? Or you thought you had to do it the way that person's. That's not being true, and that's not staying true to your voice. And that's what's today. And it's not that you invested, you learned, but you didn't embody in a way, and you really need that guidance. And so that's what we're here to do. So I want to ask you for a second, what's one piece of shelf-help that you have right now that you actually haven't used? Once again, I told you we're going to get active here in this group. What we're going to do, so what's one piece of shelf help that you have that I can't see, and let's say books, okay, books. What are some other ones? What are some other things? Books. Who else has got, my tabs are, I don't know. Someone's got to help me here because my tabs are all over the place. Shelf, what else we got in here? We got books, Finish What I Started. I have a book for decades. Right? So RPM software, I love RPM, so I can help with that. But this has become self-help, and that is not, we got to make sure that we're making sure that you're doing it the way for you, because I have a way that works for me to do that. Arthur has a beautiful book, and he talks about the hours of the day. Maybe he'll share that a little bit today. But here's my question for you as well. I'm going to take a little quiz here as well. When people hear you speak, what do they feel before they process your words? Okay, I'm going to give you a choice, and you can put it in the chat. A, trust. B, pressure. 3, confusion. Or 4, distance. What do they feel? Do they feel trust, pressure, confusion, distance? Anybody say anything else? And once again, this isn't a judgment in any way. It's really a doorway for us to look at what we've got, of how people really feel. So, anybody got anything? What do we got in there? What do people feel when before you've even said this out? Trust, beautiful, all 4. Sometimes pressure, confusion. Awesome. Confusion, trust. I hope, yeah, awesome, beautiful. So it's really important because it's not, once again, it's not just the words that we speak. It's how we show up. It's that showing up, and Arthur will share with you the importance and the shifts that happen when you really come from that sovereign place. And so what I learned is people decide how they feel around you before you even say a word. And that signal, let me tell you where that signal comes from. That comes from your body, not from a script. So I always say, and Arthur will reinforce this all the time, is always return for the breath. Like that breath, before you speak in your next call, let your body arrive first. before I ever get on a call. I'm just giving you some tips before we get going, and I want to bring on Arthur. But let your body arrive first. And think to yourself, where can I really arrive and just be? And, you know, AI, I do want to talk about AI because it's everywhere, right? It's part of our life. We need to learn how to use AI. And I don't know about you, but at first I got a little nervous about it. You hear everybody saying how it's going to replace everything. And my honest take on AI is it's raised the bar for all of us to really be human. Because if your message is generic, AI can write something. Yes, can it write it in seconds? But that's okay. But if your message is true, really true, and it's actually yours, and you live it in your body, AI can't touch that. Is that true? AI can't touch that feeling of that. And so it's this beautiful joining of that. And so what I learned from it is that the fear can be replaced for myself in the parts of me. I can use it as a framework, but it really allows me to step into owning every part of me. And, you know, I've seen so much heartbreak of people who, I don't know, like I said, they go to the training, they go from script to script, they work harder, and then, but they don't need a framework and they don't need a script. They need to tune back into who they are. And that brings me to Arthur. We have come together, and I just want to be super real with you guys. Arthur never does this. He's like, we got to do this. We have to do this event together. And we have to get women to step into their true voice and their vocal awareness, sovereignness. And so I'm like, all right. He goes, Loren, I've always wanted to do something together with, you know, as a collaboration in a way. How can we do this? And I had the honor, I'll never forget, I met Arthur more than 30 years ago. And it started really as a friendship, not as a business story. And I was like, one day I'm going to do something with him. I'm going to work with him. And guess what happens? Life gets busy. Everybody goes their own way and does everything. And then last year, I will share with you, it was a big year, a freaking big year. My daughter was starting college. I had family stuff. I had 4 big dogs. I was planning a $300,000 event. I mean, I had every legitimate excuse not to invest in my own growth. Every excuse. I mean, if someone can top mine, I'll take it. But I had every reason not to invest in myself. And then I thought to myself, you know, I've got to invest. The non-negotiable came for me. I'm always growing, no matter what, whether it's convenient or not, I'm always growing. And so then an opportunity came along. I was interviewed to have an opportunity, literally interviewed with Arthur to have an opportunity to take just who I am to the next level. And I wanted a coach. I wanted a mentor. I wanted somebody to hold me to this. And I invested in myself. And I learned that growth doesn't happen from a convenience season. I learned that if I wait for the calendar to clear, I'll still be waiting. And when I learned that I had to invest in myself because only 80% of me was really showing up. And I really want to thank Arthur because now everybody, I don't even know if those of you that have known me for a long time, but I hear it often, is that now the real me is showing up on the level that I know that I need to show up as. So, Katie, is that, I want to go ahead. Oh, there we go on the screen right now. Let's put on some music. Here's the deal. Arthur never does this. I never do this. Just so you guys know, just for 1 hour alone with Arthur Joseph is $2,000 an hour. For me, 1 hour coaching session with me is $1,500 an hour. So I don't say that to impress you. I say that because he brings you 60, 70 years of all that he's done and people that he's worked with. I bring you 36 years of experience in the trenches, and we're here to give you our very best. So, and Arthur never does anything past 3:30 because his wife they have a date set at 3:30 every day and they don't do it. So this is the first time, and this must be, he really wants to do this super bad for you guys, because, and that's why he's here 2 hours later. So can we please give some love to Arthur Joseph? Hey, let him hear you. Come on. We got music for you, Arthur.
That's crazy. That's wonderful.
All right. Not 5 more hours. You don't have to do 5 more hours. You got your time.
That's really kind of you women. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Can you hear? I can't hear you super well. I just want to make sure. Can you hear him well?
Can
Just
you
let me
hear
know.
me?
Can you guys hear? Give me a thumbs up if you can in the chat. Okay, they can hear.
Good.
Okay, great.
So I took myself out of spotlight. I hope that's okay, because I like looking at you. And I was obviously listening to what Loren's caring, brilliant, passionate insights. And one of the things she said is, it's not just the words we speak. In vocal awareness, I'm always teaching it is not merely the message, but the messenger. It's not just what we say, but how we say it. Hi, ladies. Some of you have heard me speak before. Some of you are new. And I will be 81 next January. And this is my 61st year. Loren was aging me a little bit, saying 60 or 70 years. Not yet, just the 60 and a half. And 61 and a half, excuse me. And I'm honored to be here. And I'm going to ask you all to do something in the half hour, 25 minutes or so that I will be with you. I want you to work really, really hard to translate me. Take copious notes. Even if this is being recorded, take copious notes, because they make great intellectual sense. But the angel's in the details. How do we do it? How do we overcome X number of decades of patterning, where speech is habit, where abuse, objectifying, unlevel playing fields, all have been subsumed into us? And not just nod your head and say, this is really cool, that makes a whole lot of sense, and we move on. I want to today to ask you to dedicate yourself to listening very deeply, and then from this call, begin to practice. Loren mentioned my 168 hours. 7 times 24, how do we spend a week? So I created in January of this year a new form of mastery journal. And just like that wonderful book of decades ago, The Artist's Way, this is an online program. All takes place in your journal online, including 365 days of accountability. It becomes your accountability partner, where you put your vision statement, your goal statement with timeline. And think about yourself if you had an employer and it's 5 o'clock and you're fried, it's been an intense day, and you put your purse on your shoulder and you start to walk out. The boss says, got to sit back down, emergency, we got to take care of business. What is your option? You call the babysitter, you call your partner, whatever it is, but you have to stick around and get the work done. But if we're left to our own devices at 5 o'clock, and we still haven't quite gotten those last 2 or 3 things done that we committed to doing today, what are we going to do? We're invariably going to push it off to the next day. Decades ago, when I created this concept, I realized that when we're in school, whether it's just through high school or college or however far we took our education, throughout all of those years we had an identity. We may have had jobs and whatever else, but we were singularly known as students. And for all of these years, we had someone to tell us what to do. A parent, a counselor, a professor. Everything was mapped out for us. So this will sound bizarre, but think about it. The single greatest deterrent to living life on our terms is there's no one to tell us what to do. And if we don't tell ourselves, it dies of boring. So in the journal, you create your vision statement, your goal statement with timeline, beginning with a week at a time, then 2 weeks, then a month, then a quarter, then 3 quarters, then a year. Don't take giant leaps, one step at a time. In addition, I want you, if some of you have done this, somebody's screen sharing, okay, I don't know any of this stuff. And at the same time, I want you to create, and some of you I hope have already done this from hearing me speak about it before, create your persona statement. It is foundational and fundamental. When Loren was speaking about what do they feel when they hear you speak, interesting, she didn't ask what do they hear or see, but what do they feel? Because the voice has one element that connects everything in the universe, and there is nothing else in the universe that does this. It is vibration. So when I talk with you like this, and I've just shifted my vibration because I've raised my pitch and I'm speaking with you in a very different way, what do you feel about me in this moment? Or when I speak with you a little bit more directly like this and perhaps putting on this masculine persona, what do you feel about me now? But when you experience Arthur speaking integrally as I genuinely speak, what does this feel like? Earlier today, I was working with a woman who was in Bali but lives in Auckland. And she told me how she was raised in a cult. She was raised to be subservient to men. She had been beaten by her mother beginning by the age of 3. She's now in her late 40s. And her voice was, first she started speaking to me like this, because she was never allowed to speak up. And then as she began to get louder, she started raising pitch and speaking to me like this. And in 1 hour, I was finally able to get her to speak like this. And she began to share the story. So significant. We created her persona statement. The root of the word persona literally means through the sound. Your identity is largely conveyed through the sound of a voice. And how do people perceive us? Instantaneously. Impressions are instantaneous. Doesn't matter what's truth. All that matters is that we believe it to be. So the persona statement, you answer 2 questions. How do I believe I'm presently perceived? The second question, how would I ideally like to be known? And it's going to get your attention quite likely, because it's a stretch sometimes. And then you learn to embody it. One of the things I love so much about my work will sound simplistic, but it really works. It's so joyful for me to teach this work. I can't empower you. My whole commitment is to help you empower yourself. It's arrogant for me to think otherwise. I teach life mastery, but it's a metaphor. But communication mastery is what you're learning, because it's a metaphor for life mastery. So we do exercises, ladies. Sit up nice and tall. Sit up straight. Sit at attention. And notice how your energy just shut down and you hold your breath. You do that every day. Think about the times growing up you've been objectified, and what did that make you feel like? What did that make you do? I hope we never have to revisit that again, because now I want you to take this golden thread in your left or right hand, and with me we're going to pull this golden thread, embodying yourselves as extraordinary women of stature, feeling amazing about yourself. Capital S, 2 words, yourself. And we pull this golden thread, feeling ourselves connected to Source. And we pull and pull and pull and pull. Right up through the middle of your crown chakra. Arm near your ear. Neck and shoulders loose. Your head perpendicular, not ducked down, not lifting like that. Pulling. Taller and taller and taller. Notice how your chest opens. Notice how your core engages. Arm comes down. Notice how your space is quieter. You're stiller inside. Feel this thread continuing to pull. And acknowledge internally, I am an extraordinary woman. And I do extraordinary things. If there are any men in this conversation, I am an extraordinary man. And I do extraordinary things. Then we learn to embody our persona statement in this way. And it awakens us to a really important understanding that every single thing in life revolves only around 2 things. To choose to do something or to choose not to. Doesn't matter how scary, how seemingly daunting, all that matters is how badly I want it. What else could you be doing at this time in your day on this Thursday? You're choosing to be here. That's a valiant choice. When you do this persona statement, it awakens you to a reality you never even thought about before. I didn't even know I had a choice into how I want to be known. And notice I'm not saying how I want you to know me, how I want to be known. And so when I say I want you to work really hard, cut through my intellectuality, cut through the integrity of my story, my words, and hear inside of them. Don't just have an intellectual understanding. Don't just put yourself in stature like you're checking the box. We have 7 rituals in vocal awareness. The first is to say thank you to God, to the goddess. Say thank you. Take in the thought inside yourself, not aloud, and simply say thank you as you choose to embody it. Take a moment. Now, your space internally and externally became instantly quieter. I'm teaching mastery. In all mastery in any discipline, from the arts to athletics, it all begins with a spiritual ritual. Why can't we use it in life before going into that important meeting, before a confrontational situation? I've told this story before. A company I trained at, a Fortune 50 company, trained at for 8.5 years, a number of years ago. The president of one of their subdivisions was responsible for $1 billion of business. At university, she was basketball All-American. She told me a story one day at a lesson that she was playing pickup basketball on the beach in Santa Monica, and somebody kept ragging at her, some guy. She told him to cork it. He wouldn't. He stayed on her. She walked over to him and clocked and decked her with the basketball. Threw it right at him. He got up and clocked her, but she wouldn't back down. I share this because she had an EVP working under her, a man who she'd been trying to fire for several months, but couldn't figure out how to do it. He actually intimidated her. And the metaphor for her was, well, you left your tennis shoes in the locker room, because it was a different woman who showed up behind the desk than showed up out on the court. We spent a couple of months, maybe a month or two, practicing the day she was going to fire him. What to wear, we put it on video, the rehearsals, how to set the room. He was literally gone before end of business that day. The root of the word courage means heart. It took a lot of courage for her to do that. It took a lot of heart. Everybody take a nice deep top of the morning breath, please. It's great to be alive. And exhale. Now everybody, we're not going to do that again. Instead, we're going to allow a slow, silent, conscious, loving breath. It will take 5 to 7 seconds and I will conduct it. Please get yourselves back into stature. Feel the first ritual. Thanking Source. Not taking, not rushing, allowing slowly and lovingly. This conscious, loving breath. Neck, shoulders loose. No rushing. Deeper. Eyes only on me, please. Deeper. Deeper. Joy on your faces, please. It's not a root canal. And exhale. As we do it again, notice the chest did not rise as it did the first time. This did not flex, but I didn't introduce you to what that feels like and what it's like when you do it. But notice the second time how the intercostals, your rib cage, expands. The chest does not rise. Stature, so allow a conscious, loving breath, 5 to 7 seconds. Slowly, loving, deeper, deeper. Warmth on your face. And exhale. Clearly that is fundamentally different, an experience you've never had. Technically, that breath is called an intercostal diaphragmatic breath. Who cares? But it's the breath of a newborn. Those of you who are parents, gave birth, when that beautiful child came out, its first breath was an intercostal diaphragmatic breath. Their little torsos expanded as bellows because they need a lot of oxygen fast. They do not go like that. They only allow that. It's organic. So the really interesting discovery here, and something I want you to practice when working hard at this, is to allow this conscious, loving breath. Don't rush it. Don't take it. And the interesting understanding here is we use the word allow or the word love. And I organically returned you to your primal breath. It predates everything else you experienced in life. Through love and allow, we're taken to source and core. Many of you have heard me say, spirit, spiritus means to breathe. Inspire, inspirare, to breathe into. The Hebrew word neshama means soul and breath. So as as Loren recognized, source connects us all through breath. Breath connects us all through source. It is the through line, and in vocal awareness, there is no other system that I'm aware of that integrates the technologies that I am teaching you in mastery through how you communicate every single moment of your waking life when you are speaking. When I said those words right there, did any of you notice, just raise your hand if you did, that your body took a breath? A nice deep breath. Because when the body hears the truth, it breathes to acknowledge that truth. We warm up. We're not going to do it today. But I don't know one athlete or one artist who doesn't warm up before competing or performing. That's ludicrous. But do we warm up our voices before we go to work? Of course not. It doesn't even occur to us. So look at the care you would labor over a hamstring, the longest muscle in your body, and the total disregard we show for our larynx, the smallest. It's ignorant. But you see, speech is habit. We just talk. So we're going to learn to do things. Katie, watch all the screens go black. But when you learn to speak like that, after doing that one exercise, do you hear the resonance in my voice? The power, because resonance is authority, it's authenticity. And in this work, you will learn how to embody it. You never knew how to do that. How wonderful it will be. Voice is power. Doesn't mean big, bombastic. It means integral, authentic. I teach a gazillion elite athletes. And I say to each of them in a first lesson, you bring the talent to your sport, but someone literally has taught you every single thing you do. Without it, you have no career. But think about it. Who teaches us to be us? There are even schools of communication training that say, got to bond with your audience. What a bunch of nonsense. Why do I need your approval? What if Katie has one POV and Loren has another? I can't serve you both. That artist on stage, of course my ego mind wants to cross the footlights and wants to be loved and stroked, but it can't, because in my art, I can't let my ego in the way. I'm there to serve the work. So every great artist, every great athlete that I've taught and know, they're totally hubristic. But that word hubris means blaspheming the gods, extreme arrogance. But you cannot be in mastery without being hubristic. That player isn't hoping their teammates like what they're doing. Oh, I hope the coach approves. Absurd. They own their power, but it is not arrogance. It is mastery. If I say to you, vocal awareness is extraordinary work, it can change your life in moments, that's arrogant. But if I say in response, vocal awareness is extraordinary work, it can help you change your life in moments, as not. It's my truth. But we're put down throughout our whole life. Oh, don't act like that. What will people think? Oh, you shouldn't say that. You sound arrogant. But the second one was not. It was simply my truth. So in vocal awareness, you will learn how to embody the integrity and integrate it in to the gestalt, the wholeness of who you are. Integrity, integration have the same root source. They mean wholeness. So I hope this bit of time that I've gotten to share with you today doesn't just have intellectual value or is emotionally or spiritually stimulating. I really, really am here to show you that there is a way that You will learn to embody yourself through the mechanics, through the techniques, through the mind, body, spirit reality that is vocal awareness. That is the stunning work that Loren brings. A woman who devotes her life, quite literally, to your fulfillment. And doesn't do it like everybody else who are selling used cars. She embodies her truth. So, I'm done.
Well, I just want to thank you, Arthur. Katie, can you bring Arthur, and can you all give Arthur huge love? You know, Arthur, I love you. You're so great. Every time I see you, and I'm just so grateful for our friendship and for our collab. I really want to thank your beautiful wife for sharing you with us. I know that this is definitely something you don't normally do. And can you talk a little bit about why, when we started talking about this, this was something really dear to you for us to do this immersion with everybody, not just, we talked about, it's not modules of teaching a course. This is about that integration and what we're going to do with everybody for those 2 days when we're together. Can you share a little bit why it's so important about us to integrate everything that we're doing?
I teach globally on Zoom virtually every day, at least 5 days a week. And it's really powerful learning. But to have 8 or 10 hours a day for 2 or 3 days, but it will be transformational. Because Loren and I will divide and conquer, divide and support, divide and fulfill. Loren will be working with one group, I will work with another group. We will come together and compare and contrast and integrate. I taught at a retreat facility called the Esalen Institute in Big Sur for 15, 16 years, a number of years ago. And my week always ended after a 5-day retreat I called it closing ceremony, where everyone had to embody vocal awareness as they delivered the value of the week in their closing statements. No hall passes. They really had to be in the work. Stature, conscious loving breath, everything that you will learn. That will be part of our closing ceremony. Because they only get you for these few hours. And I want it to stick. I want you to discover what is truly possible. I want to stop, as I've said at Tony's seminars and elsewhere for the last several years, the revolving door of self-help. I want you to be able to understand how to be there for yourself, how to overcome the unconscious behaviors, confront the trauma, celebrate the joy and the success, and support one another as teammates. The community is hugely successful to your success, to our success. And it will not happen any other place, any other time than in August here in Los Angeles. So please, please join us. Awesome. I'm doing this tonight. It's almost my bedtime because I get up at 4, which is so ridiculous but true. And then because the vision that Loren and I have created, that Katie makes happen, must be achieved. It's quite simple. We're in the most dangerous time on our planet since we crawled out of a cave. And we need to be able to tap into our sovereignty so nobody can steal from us what is rightfully ours. Is that okay, Loren?
You're amazing. I know I want to be respectful of your time. I'm going to talk to the ladies a little bit more, and go be with your beautiful wife. And like you said, we're doing this once, everyone, once. This is the only time. It's a very small group. I want to take some sweet dreams.
God bless
Think
you.
of all these beautiful women and your wife, all these beautiful women that are loving on you and so grateful for you. And
Thank you.
Arthur, the biggest thing that you've taught me, and I just want to share this, is that the higher you climb is like the more fluid you get with that safe 80%. And working together with you on everything that we've been doing, from Own It, you coming to Own It, to working literally with you, is either buy a car for my daughter or work with you. And so I came to work with you. I knew the car could wait. Is he still there?
I'm here.
I've got my thing. I rediscovered that 20% of me that knew that was what it was going to take. It was about understanding that I was so comfortable with that 80%, but owning every ounce of me was that real transcending. And it's almost like, it's like everything, the 80% came from my head. The other one now, the 20% of how I feel I live now, that came from every cell, my history, and it's more about not what I could manage, like what I was trying to control, but instead of what would I bring. And I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
I think we all get very comfortable in our 80%.
Let me just close, because I do have to go, with the concept that a champion does it differently. Your ladies are here because at some level you all recognize yourself as champions. Loren just described herself, without saying it, as a champion. There is no status quo. There is no settling. There is accepting and recognizing, this is where I am, this is where I want to be, without judgment. And so, thank you for, again, sharing integrally as you do. And please, ladies, come be with us. God bless you all.
Let's put on some music for him. Let's put some music on. Oh, wait, let's go. I got some music. Hang on. And then we'll give you that. There. I'll put some pink for you, because we love pink. And then we'll stay on. Come on, give him some love. Awesome. So I want to just share, first of all, what have you enjoyed? Where Katie's got something. Before we get going, does anybody have anything they want to share of something that they've learned from this last 45 minutes together? Anybody? Isn't he amazing? He is really, so it's literally going to be, this is a once in a lifetime thing. And I'm not just saying that. As he shared with you, he's going to be 81. He's like, Loren, we have to help these women really own their voice, and I want to do it with you. As I do True Voice for just the ladies that are in my mastermind, and then the other time I said, let's do this together. Arthur, Patty's actually already in. Patty was the first person to sign up, and Ava signed up, so I know those two amazing ladies are joining us. Mary Beth is going to be joining us, but I want to just share with you that when I just recently was redoing my speaker reel, and I was listening. Katie, can you get it so I can see everybody? I was listening to everything, and I was like, oh my God, I couldn't listen to myself from what I sounded like 2 years ago, because it sounded like I was yelling at people. And Arthur brought me, really, I do all the exercises before I go on stage now, and not just on stage, before I get on a call, before I get on any call, even a conference call, before I go into a meeting. And it's amazing what that tiny little hinge has done for me. And because, everybody needs a coach. I don't care what you do. If you go to the gym, you still need a coach, a health coach, something to make sure the best in the world still have coaches. And we want to be your coaches. And I'm going to tell this with you, and this is, we got off a call with someone named Roth, who is pretty much the person who created mastermind for Dean Graziosi. And he said, Loren, it's way too cheap. You know, you can either give this to these people now, but after 2 weeks, it has to go up to $5,000. So I want to just share a little bit with you guys about the program. It's going to be limited. It's only going to be, we're doing 30 people max. And, you know, I hear a lot of women especially say, you know, I already speak my truth anyway. I'm going to tell you this. You're just safe. I'm going to tell you there is another level. And what I want you to think about this. Today I went to pick up, my husband asked me to go get him a cup of coffee. As you know, I only drink sweet tea. So I went to go pick him up a cup of coffee. It was $6.59 for a cup of coffee. And then, of course, they had the do you want a tip on there too. You guys know what I'm talking about? It's not just here in Las Vegas, right? And then they make you feel really bad if you don't tip. So then I went to go get my avocado toast and my sweet tea because I went and worked out. And it was $17.19. And of course, they wanted a tip. Do you know that between those two things, if I were to do that every day from now until the time of the program, it would almost be the price of to work with Arthur and I for that time? I mean, think about that. And I want you to ask yourself right now, you know, I want you to really think about that. I know a lot of people go, you know, I don't have the money right now. And that's rarely a true sentence. I'm just going to be honest. That's a safe one, because you will find if you want it bad enough, if you get yourself to the point, you will find a way. You'll find the way to do the conference, the course. We do the things to change. But you've got to reframe the question for yourself, and you have to ask yourself, what is it costing me? And this is what I ask myself. What is it already costing me just from speaking at 80%? What's it really costing me for just speaking at the 80%? You know what I realized? I thought I was the one, and that there was nothing better. And then when I went back after doing this, I realized you should see the opportunities that are coming my way. And I don't say that out of ego. I say that because I can feel the difference, and the difference is being felt. So we want that for you. So this is an invitation. You can, I think Sarah's on the line. You can learn a little bit about you can see if it's for you. We only want it if it's a fit for you. In 2 weeks, it is going up. Katie, I think you have the slide for everybody. And yes, we do have the dates. The dates are August, are right over here. So right now it is $24.95, and the dates are right. Katie's got the slides. I don't have the slides, so she's got it all. I'm not in charge. You got it, Katie? Well, Katie's gone.
Yep,
Katie's gone. It's August.
I'm here.
It's the 20th, 21st, and then half of the 22nd up until noon. So the 20th through the 22nd. So it says it's 2.5 days. If you want, you can do that QR code, or you can book a call with Sarah or somebody on our team to talk about it. If you're ready to sign up, Katie, I think we got another slide, do we not? So right there, if you want to join right now, it is going up in 2 weeks. We already have 6 people. We just have only offered it to a very small group. Arthur is going to be speaking at 3 programs before. I would want to make sure that you all have an opportunity before anybody else does. And so this is from our True Voice Immersion. You'll also have the opportunity. Katie's going to be there. Katie is a TEDx speaker, trainer. She has a creative director. She helped me with my book. She helps me with Own It, the event. So you're going to get really not just me and Arthur, you're going to get Katie. It is a full-on experience. So it's August. Katie's got the dates, August the 20th through the 22nd. Catherine, you need to be there. 20th through the 22nd. And that is pretty much, does anybody, I'm so glad that you joined us. I saw a couple people jumped off. I'm excited. This is, and Mary Beth is joining us. Great, Amy. Hopefully you'll join us. And I just want to thank you, truly want to thank you for being here. Patty, did you want to share why you signed up, or Ava, why you signed up? Patty, you want to raise? Yep, Patty's got her hand up.
Yeah,
Yep.
I jumped the first time I saw Arthur. And I've been doing Zoom calls before Zoom was Zoom, so, and not a lot of on stage speaking, but when he started teaching us about finding your center and then breathing out, I had a friend that 3 years ago, they go, do you know that you stop breathing during the day? I always knew I had some issues to sleeping with sleep apnea and stuff. I said, what do you mean I stop breathing? He says, you hold your breath all the time during the day. So what he's taught me was and now when I breathe, I expand. Most people you see, they breathe, their shoulders go up and down. I expand, my breath goes out, and it's created much more energy and much more calmness and I'm much more aware of my breathing. And what that does is then it gives me the ability to speak to others calmly, and Lauren's seen me going 4,000 miles an hour, and she'll tell me to center, stop, and slow down. And what's that create? And when Lauren says, you'll be amazed what things start coming to you, the doors are opening all the time. And I haven't even tried to open doors yet. It's just the world is starting to bring things in because it's changing how it goes back to the question he said, how do I want to be known? And how do I believe I am presently perceived? Take some time and ask those questions with yourself tonight, because it's changed exactly a lot inside me so that the world is seeing me differently. So I jumped in the pool immediately. I said, I'm in. And Lauren said, you're the first one to come in. I'm like, great. I don't even know what dates they are. In fact, when you gave me the dates, I have to now rebook a vacation in Hilton Head, South Carolina, but that's okay. I'll move it.
Thank you. We will get to everything. We're looking just at somewhere that's convenient for Arthur, just because his priority is his wife, and so we're trying to do that. I really hope you join us. If you have anybody that wants to join us, it's going to be very special. The other thing I wanted to let you all know is if there's somebody that you want to sponsor, we do now have the Own It Foundation that is through that you can do, and that we're doing a couple sessions where you can do it as a write-off for somebody if you want to do that. But we now do have the foundation. We'll be doing that as well for the Own It experience as well. And or if there's a company, a lot of times companies like to pay for their people to attend a training like this as well. So you can, and guess what? It's all a tax write-off because it's education. So thank you for joining us. We will be doing another masterclass on the 23rd and on the 30th, and that'll be at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. For anybody that my joy, the price is going up though, just because Roth will get mad at us, and so will Sarah if we don't do that. But thank you all. And also just want to let you all know, dates for Own It next year is March the 26th to 28th. And make sure that you're a part of the community so we can keep feeding you great information and great speakers from the Own It event. They're jumping in those groups as well. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you book a call. You want to put that back up there for how to book a call with Sarah, or how to sign up. You can go ahead and do that. And thank you so much for joining us. And remember, we'll see many of you next month. I'll see a couple of you next week. Thank you, everyone.
They don't know how to do it now, so you run. It's not that you're bleeding, but you're through it now, so you run, so you run. I know that you need it, you can't live alone, so you run, so you run.